What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of What the X. This is WTX episode 57. Believe it or not, I can't believe we've done 57 episodes of this. I appreciate all you guys that have subscribed and liked the videos. And, I do some cooking with Brendan videos and some gaming with Brendan videos. But the What the X is definitely the main part of the channel. So I do appreciate all you guys. And I've been out for a little bit because I went on a family trip with my brother and my mom. We went to Ireland for her 60th just to celebrate it and see where our family came from and the roots and the ancestry. So really cool to be back from Ireland. A little under the weather. I got a runny nose and I've been kind of with a sore throat. So apologies if I sound a little sick on this episode. It's just been so long since I've done an episode. I really wanted to get another What the X out. So without further ado, this is episode 57, and let's get on with some tweets here. And I do want to mention, guys, with all the political craziness going on, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, of course. That was such a tragedy. Someone who just promoted a dialogue and was open for debate and was always willing to talk across the aisle. It is a shame to see someone so young and with so much potential and who had already done so much get taken away in such a way. There's a lot that we can talk about with that. I don't really want to get into it too much. I just want to pay my respects to Charlie Kirk. And I also just want to promote, we cannot resort to political violence on either side. I'm not here to attack left or right. I'm not here to promote any hate or sow division. We have to stop with the division. We can have disagreements, but let's not hate each other because that's what the enemies want, whatever the unnamed they are. Let's be better together. So this isn't about judging anyone or calling anyone stupid. This is just about looking at numbers, looking at what we observe, and then just coming to some rational conclusions. And then if anyone disagrees with anything I say, this is an open discourse. If you have disagreements, put it in the comments. Engage. I'm here to listen. I'm a student first and foremost, so I'm always willing and always happy to learn and have my perspective changed if something comes in and is conflicting with my worldview. Maybe my worldview needs to change. So I'm always open to hearing other perspectives. Guys, please leave a like and please comment. Please just, if you have disagreements, let me know. But without further ado, now that we've gotten, the introduction out of the way, we've prefaced it with everything going on. Again, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Let's continue with our usual programming on What the X. This is WTX episode 57, and we're going to start with Kamala Harris, who's already gotten a lot of heat on this tweet. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, it just happened. But Kamala Harris says, "What we are witnessing is an outright abuse of power. This administration is attacking critics and using fear as a weapon to silence anyone who would speak out. Media corporations, from television networks to newspapers, are capitulating to these threats. We cannot dare to be silent or complacent in the face of this frontal assault on free speech. We, the people, deserve better." And if you guys are not, again, I probably should have done even more with the introduction just because of how much craziness has been going on in the political landscape. But Kamala Harris, when she's talking about this administration attacking critics and using fear as a weapon with media corporations and television, she's most likely talking about Jimmy Kimmel's cancellation. Believe it or not, late night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel has been officially canceled. Can't believe it's taken this long, but he finally went too far with his remarks on Charlie Kirk's passing, and he had even mocked Trump's grieving process, saying that he's grieving over Charlie Kirk like a 4-year-old would grieve over his goldfish, and he played that for cheap laughs, which was embarrassing to say the least. And then he also was trying to politicize it right away, saying that it was the Charlie Kirk shooter was one of them, referring to the MAGA movement and the right movement, the conservative position, trying to frame it as the shooter being on that side. When it's like, come on, man, let's not politicize this. Let's just call it what it is. Some deranged, crazy lunatic went out and, radicalized as he may have been, went in, did an assassination. And again, rest in peace, Charlie, because that guy is a coward. I will stand by that. And again, it seems there's a lot you can say. Was it a PAC? There's so much going on that I don't want to get into all that and get backtracked. But I really just want to focus on what Kamala Harris is saying here about the free speech, the First Amendment, and the fears that we are losing that right. But I also, just to play devil's advocate here, Kamala, again, I'm not here to attack you if you are leaning left, if you're leaning Democrat, because both sides are guilty of using the media to manipulate narratives. It's just something that you'll notice throughout history. Human beings have a way to corrupt things, and that is no different when it comes to power and politics. And I actually was like, well, and if you guys even go back further, I have an episode just about this very thing that I'm going to talk about, which was the Meta letter that Mark Zuckerberg had released. And it was basically an official apology, just stating that the Biden administration had pushed him to stop coverage on COVID-19 misinformation. I use air quotes because these stories were actually legitimate, that the Biden administration was pressuring the Meta Corporation or Mark Zuckerberg from reporting on. And they also used the Hunter laptop story, and they said that was misinformation and pressured Meta to suppress coverage on that news as well, when in fact that was very legitimate concerns. So, and this is just a tweet from Grok. Grok is the AI that Elon Musk uses and is integrated with X. And I said, at Grok, please explain more about, isn't the Meta Papers a real thing? And Grok essentially said, and here it is, yes, in August 2024, Mark Zuckerberg sent a letter to the House Judiciary Committee admitting Meta censored certain COVID-19 content, including humor and satire, due to pressure from the Biden administration. He called the pressure wrong and expressed regret, stating Meta is ready to push back in the future. He also mentioned demoting the Hunter Biden laptop story amid FBI warnings of potential disinformation. So there you have it, guys. Kamala Harris can talk all this about, freedom of speech and not having government manipulate media. But what does the government do best? It manipulates media. I mean, and again, you have Fox, you have CNN, we see the right arm, we see the left arm. They both have their own media puppets. So let's not say that either party is innocent and doesn't have blood on their hands when it comes to the media landscape that we live in. But I just wanted to say, come on, Kamala, you can't be bringing up points like that when both sides engage in media manipulation of the masses. And then just so we have another tweet here, I wanted to show Patton Oswalt, who said hashtag bring back Kimmel. And Patton Oswalt, he's definitely sold his soul a long time ago. I just despise the guy. I used to think he was pretty funny from King of Queens, and he's also been in a lot of bit parts, a smaller comedian who's done a lot of things and has been around for a while. And he did the 1% Club, and he got replaced by Joel McHale recently through TV mergers and things. But just another guy that's just so full of himself and this whole Hollywood elitism. And then they had I forget if it was the Emmys or the Grammys, whatever. It was one of those celebrity award things. And they were just all talking about politics when they don't live in the real world. So, Patton, please sit down and we don't care. And Dave Portnoy, who I thought had a good take on this, Dave Portnoy says, with Kimmel getting canned, I'm seeing lots of people talking about the hypocrisy of cancel culture. To me, cancel culture is when people go out of their way to dig up old tweets, videos, etc., looking for dirt on somebody they don't like in an effort to get them fired. Like if Kimmel got canceled for shit he did on The Man Show, that would be cancel culture. But when a person says something that a ton of people find offensive, rude, dumb in real time, and then that person is punished for it, that's not cancel culture. That is consequences for your actions. And I think Dave Portnoy put that well, because it's not like we're digging up Charlie Kirk celebrations and things like this 10 years ago. These are things that are happening in real time, and employers, private employers, have every right to fire employees that could affect the bottom line and could affect the profit that that company makes. What does profit feed into it? It feeds into employee salaries. So you're talking about saving other employees as well when you get rid of the lunatics that are out here celebrating the assassination of an innocent man. So that's my 2 cents on that. I mean, yeah, if they were arresting people, then I would say, oh my gosh, this is in violation of their First Amendment right. But they have no right to employment. They earned employment through an interview, and they could have their employment terminated at any time if their employer deems it necessary. So you do have to realize what consequences you bring upon yourself when you put things out there. I'm the same way too. I work in a corporate job. I understand that the political views I have may in fact one day get me canned or not, and that's something that I have to live with. But I do believe that I'm a morally right person, so I don't have any regrets. And if those leftists, those radicalized, crazy people out there, it's not just leftist. I don't want to just sow division like that. There's both parties have crazy people in them. But if you're out there and you're making crazy remarks, there's a good chance, these things can happen. So I have no pity for anyone that's getting terminated. Fired, because, I don't want to say like pop, getting taken out. But anyone that's getting let go of their job for saying crazy nutcase stuff, they totally deserve it. And it's not cancel culture. It's like, we just pulled this up. It went viral. This tweet that you did on TikTok. Oh my God, I'm just mixing up all my social medias. But you get the point. You cannot excuse yourself of this hateful rhetoric. Like, if you do these things, you need to pay the consequences. I totally believe that. But to continue forward, because I appreciate you guys again too. Sorry if I'm ranting a lot. It's just been a minute since I've been able to do a What the X, so it's nice to speak these viewpoints and also to pay respects again, because I don't want to be part of that exploitation or anything like that. But I want to have a serious conversation about the things going on in our country, because we all, I think, collectively can be better, and that's what I hope happens. At the end of this discourse, this very difficult discourse that we need to have with each other, because there's too much division on left and right. We need to calm the hell down and figure out a common ground so that people aren't getting assassinated for having a difference of opinion. That is just completely unacceptable in a country that we promote as a republic, and we have democratic viewpoints. Democracy, we got to be better. But I want to continue here because Barack Obama, he has some input. After years of complaining about cancel culture, the current administration has taken it to a new and dangerous level by routinely threatening regulatory action against media companies unless they muzzle or fire reporters and commentators it doesn't like. Again, Barack Obama is referring to Jimmy Kimmel's cancellation. And if you guys didn't know, it is disputed because Jimmy Kimmel's disputing this himself. But they're not making profit over on Jimmy Kimmel's show. It's almost a financial decision too. When you politicize and you talk shit on half of your potential audience, you're going to lose half of your potential revenue. So it's only on all of you late night show host idiots when you decide to go after one party and then go full on gun-ho, you're with the other. Yeah, you just split half your party up. And I think Jay Leno and Johnny Carson, these guys, they understood that, and they were all about escapism, all about an hour of entertainment. It's the late night show. Everyone's had their 9 to 5 day done. They're ready to sit back and relax. They're not ready to be criticized about their own beliefs. So you just lost more than 50% if you're going to look at President Trump getting elected. Most people voted to the right. So then you just took out that whole half because you feel this moral superiority or this self-righteousness of this egotism. It's the arrogance that Jimmy Kimmel and others display is beyond cringe. And then shout out to Jimmy Kimmel, or not Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. Apologies. Jimmy Fallon had Andrew Gutfield on his show, who's a right conservative Fox News late show host guy, very successful in the ratings and the money that he's been pulling in. But the fact that you're able to have someone on the other side of the aisle, I know a lot of people have criticized Jimmy Fallon on being like a weak person who bends to the media decisions. But I think it was a good look to bring someone across the aisle and have them sit down. You guys are humans, laughing, talking. We need more of that. We don't need more of this vilifying, more of this MAGA idiots, more of these brain-dead audiences clapping and laughing along to every stupid remark you make. It's just getting to be too much, and I think people are done with the late-night format. And you're seeing Stephen Colbert was first, Jimmy Kimmel next, Seth Meyers will probably be next because he's just another liberal mouthpiece. It's like you could be just talking about both sides. I think even the Daily Show, Jon Stewart, Desi, all those guys, they do a little bit better. They're more left-leaning, but they're at least willing to poke fun at the left as well. And you need to have a balance in there so you can have both audiences be pulled in. Otherwise, you guys are just being idiots on a financial bait. Like, it's capitalism. Make the math make sense, guys. You can't split and destroy a whole half of your potential demographic. Duh. So I have no sympathy for the cancellation of Jimmy. And then Roseanne Barr, funny enough, she actually quoted Barack Obama or reposted Barack Obama's tweet. And she says, "Remember when you and your wife called Bob Iger, the Disney CEO, to have me fired?" And then, they changed it to the Connors because they couldn't have it be the Roseanne show anymore, or Roseanne as it was. So they had to change it to the Connors because she said some conservative viewpoints that they didn't like. Maybe you could argue racism. I'm not here to argue if someone's racist or not. I don't think Roseanne Barr is racist. I don't think she'd make it as far as she is and be a comedian if she really was. I do think she's a real one. And I think, maybe she's been politically incorrect, but how old is she as well? Let's calm the hell down with the cancel culture as the Democrat and the left are right now wanting to promote that. Again, I say Democrat and left. That's just because they're the ones that are being the loudest in this conversation. The right, they're guilty of the same kind of things. I'm not saying that. Again, I'll always say free Snowden. Both sides will never pardon that man because they both are two heads of the same snake. So let's quit arguing with each other. We need new leadership in government to represent us more fairly. But to move forward, Dan Bilzerian, and I think Dan Bilzerian, he is a very problematic voice in the media landscape because he does have anti-Semitic views that I think could paint a whole, an entire ethnic race under a bad light. But I think what he says is interesting here. For all of you bozos who still think this is a right versus left problem, the right is in power. We are still doing whatever Israel wants. We are still protecting pedophiles, and you're still being lied to. It's two heads of the same snake. So reading that tweet, you guys see where I got the two heads of the same snake analogy from. But he's got a great point. The left and the right are in on this together. It's like we need it, and everyone knows it. There's no possibility of a third party ever rising to power. These guys have a stranglehold on our republic. this needs to change. Because it's completely true, man. And I'm not saying that Jews are evil. I'm not saying Palestinians are evil. There's a serious conflict in Gaza, and I think we do need to address the Israeli retaliation. All these kind of things are very serious accusations being levied against each other. It's a very complex situation that has a lot, that needs a nuanced approach, and I do want to see just people being able to survive and live there without the fear of a drone strike. So a lot needs to change there as well. And I just hope that we see, come on, world peace is my ultimate goal. But there's just a lot going on with the cancellation and stuff like that. And I think that these people have good points. And we're going to move on to another tweet from Elizabeth Warren. We're on verge of a government shutdown because Republicans refuse to fix the healthcare emergency in America. I'm on my way to the Senate floor to sound the alarm. And if you didn't know, she and Bernie Sanders, they've been grilling RFK Jr. a few congressional hearings. And I just kind of wanted to give you guys some context here because Elizabeth Warren, before Congress, she was a law professor and academic. She taught at the University of Houston, the University of Texas, the University of Pennsylvania, and finally Harvard Law School. She specialized in bankruptcy and consumer protection law. Government roles before Senate. She chaired the Congressional Oversight Panel for the Troubled Asset Relief Program after the 2008 financial crisis, the housing bubble. That was a crazy time. She helped design the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, though she wasn't appointed its head. And then in Congress, U.S. Senate from 2013 to present. So when I graduated in 2013, it's been a long time, guys. I'm pretty old now. She defeated incumbent Scott Brown in 2012, becoming the first female senator from Massachusetts, known for strong stances on banking regulation, consumer protection, and progressive economic policies. All good things to be promoting. Don't get me wrong here. And then she is 76. She's been a politician for quite some time. And very interesting, guys. I wanted to show you this tweet here, or this message. This is, again, to ChatGPT. I said, when did both of them, and this is me talking about Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, when did both of them start taking in money from Big Pharma? ChatGPT, this was an interesting response. I wanted to show you this, guys. I need to be careful here because claims about politicians taking money from Big Pharma can get fuzzy and sometimes misleading. Let me break it down for both Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren with what's actually documented. And then what's crazy, guys, is I learned so much with ChatGPT. Shout out ChatGPT. Of course, it can be wrong sometimes. You got to make sure to fact check yourself. You got to make sure to ask a lot of questions and have a real in-depth conversation about the research that you're doing, because there's still a lot of advancements to be made with AI and chat. But I just wanted to kind of go over what is a PAC. A PAC, a PAC, a political action committee. It's a group that pools money from members, donors, often corporations, unions, or interest groups to give candidates and influence elections. There's different types. Corporate PACs, they're funded by companies like Pfizer, Google, Exxon, etc. Union PACs, self-explanatory. They're funded by unions. Super PACs can spend unlimited money independently, but can't donate directly to candidates. Importantly, candidates can choose whether to accept money from PACs. So Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, right? They're out here saying we never have accepted any money from PACs. Pharmaceutical PACs and executives, we've never accepted any money from. But what gets a little murky, guys, and this is from Open Secrets, and let me go down here. This is Open Secrets, and this is for Elizabeth Warren, 2019 to 2024 election cycle, Senate and other campaigns. Total funds she raised in that period is $20,636,521. Breakdown by source: small individual contributions, which is under $200 per contributor. 54.62%. Large individual contributions, 42.12%. PAC contributions, Political Action Committee contributions, 0.33%. Very small percentage, but still there. This includes all PACs, not just health or pharma. So very small, and you would say very, very small with pharmaceuticals and health specifically. In the 2019-2020 cycle, from the pharmaceuticals health products category, Warren got about 818,000. So 818,000 out of 20 million, a very, very small amount. Also, more broadly in her health professionals category, over 2019 to 2024, she got 528,000 from that sector. But what's interesting, and then let me get to this, because this was really crazy. Let me get to this real quick, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you, Dutch. Open Secrets Pharmaceuticals Health Products mixed together contributions from PACs and contributions from individuals who list their employer in that field. This means someone who works for a pharma company donating 200 plus will count in those totals. Therefore, having 800,000 from pharma health products does not mean Warren is being funded by big pharma PACs or leadership. It typically means many smaller donors who happen to work in pharma. So you're telling me she got 800,000 from individual pharma employees, not an actual PAC, which is the committee, more organized. And then so the PAC's extremely small at 0.33%. But the bottom line, Elizabeth Warren received a significant amount of contributions from individuals in the pharmaceutical health product sector, hundreds of thousands of dollars in recent cycles. But those contributions are mostly from ordinary employees, not big pharma PACs or executives. Compared to her total fundraising, the pharma-linked contributions are a relatively small slice, especially given her large base of small individual donors. So what's interesting here is the loophole concern. In a theory, a corporation or PAC cannot funnel money through employees. That would be an illegal straw donor scheme. However, critics argue that in practice, industries sometimes encourage or bundle donations from employees, executives, and lobbyists to show support without using the official PAC. Example, a pharma lobbying firm might ask its senior employees to max out donations to certain candidates that host a fundraiser. So if you have hundreds and hundreds of employees, and then you're asking them to all put in personal donations toward a political candidate that is, benefiting your sector to avoid PAC reporting, that in itself is disingenuous and it's dishonest. So we do have, when someone says that they're not funded by PACs, guys, you have to look a little between the lines and see that the individual donors could be a collective of employees in said pharmaceutical company that is avoiding this PAC reporting by having their employees do this. Again, there's not enough data reporting and things like that to put that all together, but it's something we got to think about. And I do hope that we can all come together. I'm not here to say that if you're voting left or if you're voting right, you're wrong. It's not about being wrong. It's about understanding each other. This is all about discourse and dialogue. Talk to me, guys. Give me comments. Give me opposition if you feel that what I've said isn't correct. I'm always willing to listen and speak back. Let's see what we can figure out together. Enough with the division. Enough with the hate. All hate does is take people too soon. Again, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. This episode is dedicated to you, brother, because I'm in that same kind of space where I talk a lot of political things, and I'm not here to spread violence. I'm not here to spread hate. My message every time is everybody love everybody, and I will say that till the day that till I can't, Thank you guys so much for watching every episode of What the X. Please like and subscribe. I'm always here to just talk about the political discourse going on. Let's figure this out together, guys. Let's get enlightened together. Let's unite. One nation under God, right? Indivisible we stand. All right? So guys, instead of pointing fingers and accusing each other of things. But I'm just saying numbers, all right? You take with those numbers what you will. But thank you guys so much for watching episode 57. This has been another episode of What the X? If you like that clip, feel free to click on this clip or even this clip. And then, hey, don't forget about that clip over here. Thanks, guys.